In a small town called Lembasiner, mornings always carried the scent of dew and the quiet promise of something new. But for Arka, this day would whisper a secret no morning had ever dared. While helping his grandmother clean the attic, Arka stumbled upon a wooden chest. Its carvings were worn, yet unmistakable clouds and a rainbow. Inside, a map, old, fragile, and glowing faintly at the center. Two words were written above the light: Rainbow Trail. Back at school, his mind wandered. The map haunted him, its glow, its mystery. After class, he shared it with Naya and Rafi, his closest friends. They said nothing at first, but wonder spread through their eyes. That night, he searched legends, myths, and whispers on the internet. One kept returning Rainbow Trail, a path not marked by roads, but by those willing to chase something deeper, something unseen. By dusk, the decision was made. North towards the forest. No one else would understand. But to the three of them, it was more than curiosity. It was a calling. The forest welcomed them not with sound, but silence. Leaves rustled like whispers, and shadows stretched long. Then a stone, carved with a rainbow, the first mark of the trail. Mist curled around their feet, and through the trees a shimmer, floating, dancing colors of the rainbow. Not from the sun, but from the trail itself. They reached a river. Across it, a bridge, old, worn, but strong. At its end stood a stone gate, wrapped in vines and pulsing with that same soft glow. With each step on the bridge, the air thickened. The map in Arka's hands blazed with light. And then everything vanished into white. The world behind them faded. What lay ahead was only beginning. They awoke to silence. Not the silence of sleep, but of arrival. Around them, an endless meadow bathed in soft green and violet light. The air felt different, like they had stepped into a forgotten dream. Nothing here obeyed the rules they knew. Trees pulsed faintly with light. Birds shimmered like glass in motion. In the distance, a stone monolith stood with new markings, ones not on their map. The stone whispered choice. 3 glowing paths stretched out: forest, lake, and misty mountain. No instructions, no signs. Only instinct would guide them. Without a word, they moved toward the mist. Perhaps because it was the quietest, or perhaps because it didn't ask anything of them, only trust. Within the fog, the world melted. Voices echoed, distant laughter, wine chimes, whispers in a language they didn't know. Shadows danced just beyond reach. The trail tested their fear. Then, light from below. A warm glow rising from the earth, splitting it open. Steps spiraled downward, inviting or warning. Beneath the surface, they entered a chamber of mirrors, but not their reflections, fragments of their past. Arka's sorrow, Naya's fear, Rafi's loneliness. The trail, it seemed, knew who they truly were. At the end of the chamber, one mirror stood alone. It didn't show the past, but a future. A version of them braver, stronger, and full of purpose. Not who they were, but who they could become. The final door opened. Light poured out, not harsh, but warm. A rainbow without rain. A welcome without words. Whatever lay beyond was no longer just a trail. It was destiny. As they stepped beyond the gate, light embraced them. Not blinding, but complete. The world around them dissolved, and in its place, an endless space of swirling hues, like the inside of a living dream. Here, the world was a mirror of emotion. Calm thoughts brought meadows, fear summoned desert winds, and when peace returned, the land turned to glassy lakes beneath golden skies. One misstep, and the path fractured. A wall of thought of fear rose between them. Rafi stood alone, not truly far, but unreachable. Here, space obeyed feeling, not distance. Arka and Naya wandered, a maze made not of walls, but of memory. Each turn showed moments they thought forgotten, quiet victories, soft wounds. The trail didn't just test the heart, it revealed it. Alone, Rafi faced himself, not the version he showed others, but the one that doubted, that longed to belong. The world around him pulsed red, then blue until he chose calm. When their thoughts aligned, when fear gave way to trust, the world softened. The walls fell, and at the heart of it all, a flower bloomed from light, welcoming them back together. The ground trembled, not with danger, but with truth. Light spread beneath like roots, and from below, a voice not of menace, but of patience, whispered, "You are not yet ready to see the end." In Arka's hands, the map changed. The old lines vanished. New symbols bloomed, strange, beautiful, unreadable. The trail had shifted, and so had they. Above them, the sky cracked open, stars unfamiliar blinked down. And across the air, a bridge of light stretched into the dark. A new direction, a higher place. They stood before the bridge, not of stone or wood, but of pure light. Below, an infinite sky, above, the unknown. Each step hummed with ancient energy, as if the stars watched them closely. As they climbed, wind whispered names only their hearts could hear. Mist curled like fingers. In the air, words formed from nothing. Remember who you are. Halfway across, they met the Watcher, a figure made of stars, its face calm yet infinite. Its eyes held galaxies, and within them truth. The Guardian spoke not in words, but in memory. The bridge became a mirror of their quiet regrets. Arka's silence, Naya's fear to lead, Rafi's hidden doubt. To pass, they had to face what they never said aloud. They closed their eyes, and from within, color bloomed. Each light a fragment of self, courage, sorrow, hope. The Guardian bowed and let them pass. At the bridge's end, a golden gate awaited. Behind it, a sea of stars flowing upward, like gravity had forgotten itself. The sky was no longer above, it was within. They entered a place without shape. No ground, no sky, only light that held them like water. In this realm, identity unraveled and potential rewrote itself. From the center of the light, a voice spoke, neither male nor female, but endless and ancient. Welcome, wanderers. The world shall bend because you chose to walk. The map rose one final time, then burned, not in fire but in brilliance. In its place, a new mark, a circle, an inward arrow, and a single drop of water. The next step was unknown. They found themselves floating in a space with no ground, no ceiling, just endless white and soft light. Here, time felt slower, lighter, like thoughts were louder than sound. In this realm, thoughts became real. Naya's fear took the form of shrinking walls. Rafi dreamed of home, and a wooden hut appeared. Arka faced a version of himself, angry, confused. Their minds shaped everything around them. Tiny lights danced around them, singing softly. Each note felt like a memory, a bedtime song, a mother's voice, or a forgotten laugh. The past wasn't gone here, it waited. A guardian made of books and ink appeared. It didn't speak with words, but with thought. What do you carry in silence? The question stayed in their hearts. They learned that emotions could shape reality. Naya imagined courage and grew wings. Rafi wished for peace and stood in a garden. Arka whispered forgiveness, and a rainbow appeared. They were changing. A glass path appeared, floating among stars. Each star held a piece of who they were. The road led not forward but inward. At the end of the path sat a glowing child. No words were spoken, just a gentle smile. A guardian of light, testing their hearts. One by one, they cried not from fear, but from release. The tears turned to crystals and formed a door. A way forward, a way deeper. They stepped through the doorway and into green light. A new silence welcomed them, this time calm. The next realm awaited. They entered a forest unlike any they had seen before. The trees were pale green, stretching tall and still. A soft mist hugged the ground. The air was quiet but listening. Every step they took seemed to echo softly in the trees. Leaves shimmered above, whispering gently, not in the wind but in voices. Fragments of sentences floated through the air, like pieces of forgotten conversations. Voices of loved ones, teachers, even themselves. Some trees opened their eyes, not to threaten, but to see. They watched with stillness, as if remembering the trio from long ago. Here, nature didn't just grow, it remembered. As they walked, a glowing path appeared beneath their feet, lighting only the steps ahead. Not the destination, not the end, just enough to keep moving forward. Rafi wandered a few steps off the path and vanished into the mist. Alone now, he felt the forest differently, deeper, quieter, filled with voices that knew him too well. A tree glowed softly with blue light. Rafi heard a voice not outside, but inside. What you're looking for is not out there, but in here. He touched the trunk, and his heart calmed. When Arka and Naya found Rafi, he was sitting peacefully beneath the glowing tree. They didn't speak. They didn't need to. In this forest, silence healed more than words. The glowing path shifted to a warm golden orange, guiding them toward tall stones that formed a narrow gate. A new threshold, a new test. The forest watched and gently let them go.